President Trump blasts TV star Oprah Winfrey and says he hopes she runs against him.
I'm Tom Foti. In between critical tweets all weekend about the Russia investigation, President Trump also had Twitter thoughts on Sunday night's 60 Minutes broadcast, saying he just watched what he calls a very insecure Oprah Winfrey. She interviewed a panel. The president did not like the tone. He said the questions were biased and slanted, the facts incorrect. Mr. Trump added, hope Oprah runs, so she can be exposed and defeated just like all of the others. Tom Foti, CBS News, Washington.
Sand is being pumped again on a North Carolina beach, the 8th such project in 12 years in the same area. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has begun a beach renourishment project along Wrightsville Beach. February is Children's Dental Health Month, and experts are emphasizing the importance of regular cleanings and checkups. Registered dental hygienist Jennifer Hash says that regular visits to the dentist help instill consistent oral hygiene habits in children.
Having that access to a dental provider can catch things when they're small. A cavity that is small can be fixed with a simple restoration, whereas something that gets larger over time can lead to abscess and systemic infection.
A movie about a mother out to avenge the murder of her daughter is the big winner at the British Academy Film Awards in London.
And the first BAFTA goes to 3
billboards
outside Ebbing.
3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri won 5 BAFTAs, including Best Film and Best Actress for Frances McDormand, one of the few not wearing black in honor of the Me Too protests over sexual harassment.
I want you to know that I stand in full solidarity with my sisters tonight in black.
Its way to the gold medal game late this week. They're likely to battle the Canadian women in that game. Canada has won 4 consecutive Olympic golds in women's hockey. They beat the U.S. in 3 of those finals. Alex Stone, ABC News, Pyeongchang.
Former Trump campaign staffer Rick Gates reportedly is ready to switch his plea in his fraud trial to guilty. The L.A. Times reporting he'll also testify against former campaign manager Paul Manafort. You're listening to ABC News.
Okay, so where do more Americans turn first in the morning to start their day? Go on, tell them, Robin.
Good morning, America.
George.
Good morning, America.
Lara.
Good morning, America.
So, take it from Robin.
Put some good in your morning.
With ABC's Good Morning America.
To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam is clinically proven to relieve leg and foot cramps. TheraWorks Relief can also prevent muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at select CVS and Rite Aid pharmacies or TheraWorksRelief.com.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
A Boy Scout is recovering after being rescued from a cave in southeastern Pennsylvania. He was on a tour of the cave when he got stuck. Firefighter Tody Williams is one of the rescuers.
A lot of the areas you have to basically crawl through. A lot of the areas you have to kind of shimmy through. And then some of it that drops down, you have to drop down at different angles to get to it.
The 15-year-old was trapped for about 8 hours before teams were able to chip away enough of the surrounding rock to haul him out. At a town hall meeting in Flint, Michigan, residents gathered to talk about suing over the city's water crisis. Actor Hill Harper served as a moderator at that meeting.
There's been extreme harm done to this community, and we have to do our best to right those wrongs, and one of the avenues is through the court system.
4 years ago, the city of Flint switched water supplies to a system without any corrosion controls, leading to the contamination. A pilot had to turn part of a California highway into a landing strip yesterday. The small plane touched down on the 101 not far from San Jose after suffering engine problems. No one was hurt. Cops in Milwaukee are looking for an art thief. Someone made off with a signed Picasso print worth about $50,000 from a downtown gallery. And we cannot tell a lie. It looks like a college in New York may have found a lock of George Washington's hair. A librarian at New York's Union College found an envelope with some silvery hair tucked inside an old almanac. On it was written, Washington's hair. Not a bad clue. This is ABC News.
With the stock market at all-time highs, cash in your profits now and invest in an asset that can potentially pay for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. Call now to learn how you can potentially achieve 20 or more years of income and deduct 100% of every dollar invested against all forms of income. Call 1-800-803-8511. That's 1-800-803-8511. Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
Have you noticed what's going on at Oakland Feed and Seed? Cheapest price in town on propane refills. 20-pound cylinder, $11.99. Forklift cylinder, $17.99. And the 100-pound cylinders, $55.99. Whole corn, $6.99 for the 50-pound bag. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 for the 50-pound bag. 17-17-17, just $12.50 for the 50-pound bag. Check with Oakland Feed and Seed for all prices. You'll find them the cheapest around. It's a generational thing. Your dad and your dad's dad shopped at Oakland Feed and Seed. Oakland Road, Spindale. Locally owned and operated.
We could see some patches of light rain early on today. Otherwise, we'll have cloudy to mostly cloudy skies and just a few widely scattered sprinkles or light showers. We'll look for high temperatures that range from around 50 in northernmost parts of the state to low 60s in the south. Tonight, we'll have low clouds and areas of fog, a small chance of some sprinkles or drizzle with lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Then on Tuesday, more clouds than sun and a good deal warmer, highs about 68 to 74. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Mike. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday, the 19th of February, 6 minutes after 7 o'clock, 46 degrees and cloudy skies. We've had light mist falling this morning. We may have more rain later, scattered showers throughout today. 40% chance of that, 50% tonight, back to 20% tomorrow, and then 50% tomorrow night. Wednesday, we get rain all this week. It's in the forecast all this week. Scattered showers, so it means it'll come and go throughout the period. So keep your umbrellas handy, your rain jackets handy, because we're going to be in for a spell of off and on rain showers this week. Again, it's 46, cloudy, and light mist falling. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Danny Caveman Putnam, age 53, of Forest City, died Friday. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 p.m. Wednesday, February the 21st at Gooch Creek Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. The family will receive friends from 6 until 8 o'clock Tuesday at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Danny Caveman Putnam. Ann Callahan, age 83, of Rutherfordton, died Friday at Hospice House of Rutherford County. Those arrangements are incomplete at this time and will be announced later by McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Service for Ann Callahan. Mary Florence Kuhn Lovelace, age 89, of Union Mills, died Saturday at Oakland Living Center. Family will receive friends from 6 until 8 o'clock this evening at McMahon's Funeral Home. The family will be at the home of Mary Florence. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Mary Florence Kuhn Lovelace of Union Mills. Lillian Faye Tomlin, age 91, of Forest City, died Friday, February the 16th at White Oak Manor. The funeral service will be held 3 p.m. February the 19th today in the Mountain Creek Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. The family received friends yesterday. Paget and King Mortuary is in charge of the arrangements for Lillian Faye Tomlin. Charles Donald Don Spratt, age 73, of Ellenboro, died Friday at Mission Hospital in Asheville. Services will be private for the family, and the Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Charles Donald Don Spratt of Ellenboro. Those are the death announcements we have this morning in house. You can get the complete information on these this morning at 11:35, and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB. Keeping you informed as well as entertained is our goal here at the Mighty 590. And we're on Northland Cable Channel 5 and streaming the signal on the World Wide Web at www.wcab59.com. Well, Saturday was a good day for the Tar Heels as they beat Louisville 93-76. 93-76, a game heard right here. And next game is coming up Wednesday against Syracuse. UNC in Syracuse on the radio right here at WCAB Rutherford.
What makes a good radio station? Local involvement, complete news coverage, sports, constant weather updates, talk shows, contests, today's country hits, and yesterday's memories. Come to think of it, I guess you're listening to it. WCAB.
When Obama assumed office, the Senate and House were in Democrat hands, and that was the case for 2 years. And they passed all kinds of partisan legislation, including Obamacare, and that spending bill called the stimulus or porculus that was really a money laundering operation for their union buddies. Now, in those years, the Democrats had every opportunity to pass comprehensive immigration reform. Republicans were powerless to stop them. But despite pandering to Hispanic pressure groups, the Democrats never even tried to pass immigration reform, not once. Obama repeatedly told these groups that he couldn't single-handedly legalize Dreamers because that would be unconstitutional. But then he changed his mind. As his time in office was ending, he issued an executive order granting amnesty to a portion of them. It was unconstitutional then and still is today. That brings us to President Trump. In his immigration plan, he offered a real pathway to citizenship for almost 2 million Dreamers. In return, he asked Congress to finally deal with border security and true immigration reform. Well, last week, Democrats in the Senate blocked it. They're demanding no consequences for sanctuary cities that ignore federal law. They're demanding that chain migration and a broken lottery system stay in place. And once again, Democrats turn their backs on the so-called Dreamers. Maybe one day these people will realize that Democrats are not their friends. To Democrats, Dreamers are political pawns. It's a rigged game. Hey, the Democrats could have passed gun control in those first 2 years. Not even a chance that they tried. My good friends, let me introduce you to LegacyBox.com. This is the new way to digitize all of your old home movies and photos. Here's the problem. You got old photos, film, VHS tapes. You have no idea how to preserve them and the memories they hold. Well, stop letting your precious memories get lost or thrown out or forgotten just because they're deteriorating in an outdated format. LegacyBox.com is a service that takes care of everything. You get a specially made Legacy Box. It's an actual box designed for you to put your old tapes and pictures and audio recordings in, and you send it back. They get your Legacy Box in a couple of weeks. You get your originals back and a perfectly preserved digital copy either on DVD or a thumb drive. And you'll get a 40% discount when you go to LegacyBox.com/rush. Get 40% off your order at LegacyBox.com/rush.
Reaching 10 counties from the county seat of Rutherford. This is the Mighty 590 WCAB Rutherfordton.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata. If you have a disability or a chronic illness, you've probably been told that exercise could help you feel better. And if you have diabetes, listen up. The American Diabetes Association has put together new recommendations on physical activity and exercise. Recent studies have shown that you can improve your blood sugar levels by interrupting prolonged sitting every 30 minutes. All it takes is 3 minutes or more of standing or light intensive activity like overhead arm stretches or walking in place or extending your legs out. So, if you're at work, stretch out your legs while you answer that phone. And if you're in a wheelchair like me, ask your caregivers to help you. It's a simple step toward a healthier you. For more health tips on living well with a chronic illness, visit disabilitycampaign.org. Again, that's disabilitycampaign.org.
The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. Well, it's Monday again, and you'll be looking for a place to have lunch today following your work in a while. Well, go to Gregory's, one of the best places in the area to eat lunch and dinner at night, because you can enjoy fresh salad bar every day, fresh and delicious burgers and subs and grinders and pastas and prepared to your perfection. Call on Gregory's for any catering event you might have coming up. From simple to elaborate, doesn't matter how small or how large. Gregory will be glad to handle that for you, and you'll be glad you did. Call on Gregory's. 287-2171 is the phone number, 287-2171. Choose Gregory's for lunch or dinner today, and choose them for your next catering event. Gregory's in the Parkland Plaza, Rutherfordton.
Prior to 1873, in addition to silver and gold coins, those two metals backed paper money printed by the government. A person could exchange a dollar bill for $1 worth of silver or gold. But in 1873, Congress passed a law for the United States to stop using silver to back paper money. When this happened, a financial panic started taking place. Obviously, the bottom fell out of the silver market. A man who was a wealthy owner of a silver mine one day found himself the owner of a worthless hole in the ground the next day. In addition, farmers or anyone who carried a heavy debt load felt this bill made for a tighter supply of money and therefore harder to pay off their debt. Congress's bill became known as the Crime of 73. With the United States going through widespread financial difficulties, it was mystically thought that going back to both silver and gold would solve all problems. The leader of the fight to go back to silver was a Congressman, Richard Bland. He was so tireless in his efforts that he received the nickname Silver Dick. Finally, 5 years after the Crime of 73, on February 16, 1878, the Bland-Allison Act was passed. Although it didn't return the usage of silver to the level prior to 1873, it did require the government to resume purchasing and minting silver dollars. Unfortunately, those who found it difficult to pay off their debt prior to the Bland-Allison Act found it just as difficult afterward. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Thanks, Dakota. Now it's 16 minutes after 7 o'clock, time for us to go to the phones, find out what's been going on over the past weekend. And Officer Arnett is on the phone with me now to give us an update from the Sheriff's Department. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Ready for a Monday morning to kick off this week.
Okay. Last 48 hours, Sheriff's Office has 232 calls, 14 arrests, and 172 in jail. We have, for reports for arrests, we have a Joseph Duncan, misdemeanor probation violation. Donald Hudson, failure to appear. Frank Godfrey, failure to appear. Megan Acey, failure to appear. Mark Stafford, second-degree trespass. Jimmy Coffey, assault on a female. Rashad Phillips, assault on a female. And for reports, we have a Jacqueline Walker, who's reported a breaking and entering. Teresa Phillips, larceny of a motor vehicle. Melinda Hamrick, larceny of a motor vehicle. Paul Lee Harris, breaking and entering a motor vehicle. Angela Lowe, assault on a female. Jennifer Green, assault on a female. Clifford Bradley, misdemeanor larceny. Timothy Powell, breaker entering a motor vehicle. Sylvia Greer, financial card fraud. Cerness Lovelace, breaking or entering. Charles Street, breaking or entering. And Elizabeth Luckadoo, assault and battery. And that's all.
Officer Arnett, we do appreciate it, and you be safe out there today.
Yes, sir. You have a good day.
Thanks. Bye-bye. It's 18 minutes after 7 o'clock here on the Morning Report. We'll get to the next phone call and check out Communication Center after this.
One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with a Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Here's Carrie now with a report from the Communications Center this morning. Carrie, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
In the past 48 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 613 911 and administrative calls. EMS had 82, Rescue 21. Under law enforcement, Sheriff's Office had 232, Forest City 106, Lake Lure 7, Rutherfordton 60, Spindale 123. Under fire calls, Cliffside responded to a motor vehicle accident. Ellenborough responded to a motor vehicle accident. Forest City responded to a motor vehicle accident and an industrial fire alarm. Rutherfordton responded to a motor vehicle accident. Spindale responded to an industrial fire alarm, and Union Mills responded to a motor vehicle accident. And that's all we have.
Thanks, Carrie. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Visit the drop-in store every morning, and you can enjoy a sausage biscuit for only $1.29. But you know what else is good? Even better. Get a sausage biscuit and a 12-ounce cup of hot and delicious S&D coffee for only $1.99. And for lunch, you got to try the Golden Fried Chicken Breast Box with potato wedges and a roll. It's just $3.99. Add a 32-ounce fountain drink or iced tea, and you have lunch for under $5. You can't beat it. And we know spring is hopefully on its way. It's not too far away, but there are still a few cold nights ahead. So the drop-in has clean and clear K1 kerosene available at West Main, Forest City, Oak Street, and Shiloh locations. And for those lawnmowers and weed eaters, remember Sandy Mush location has non-ethanol gas. The drop-in has you covered 7 days a week with ATM locations. Yep, remember that. Every one of them's got ATM locations. And they're proud, the drop-in and the Major Leagues Deli are proud to be Rutherford County Veterans Service Only Platinum sponsor. All veterans enjoy a 10% discount on all fountain items all day, every day. The drop-in stores has been serving Rutherford County since 1981, and they continue to grow because continued good service and continued good food. Come on, drop in. Ruby Taylor has a report for us from Danieltown, SDO Fire District. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report, Ruby?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Marcus White and Pauline Putman having birthdays. Hope they have a nice day. And the signs are in the head today and going to the neck tomorrow. And that's all I got, Jim.
Have a good day, Ruby.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
22 after 7 o'clock. Here's this word. You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302. Well, when you call somebody to come out and do a job for you at home, you want it to be done right. Hutchins Pest Control does it right. Their name's on the company, so they're going to make sure the job is done right. Honest, dependable, and on-time service. Hutchins Pest Control was voted best in the business 8 years in a row. That says something. They appreciate the confidence you placed in them. They promise to continue being the best they can be in the pest control business. Honest, dependable, and on-time, and if you'll call them, you'll find out that's true. Call them and get your home or your office protected. 287-5171 is that phone number. 287-5171. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control. We're going up to the mountains, out to Romney Ball. Here's Steve now. He's on the phone with us to give us an update. Good morning.
Yes, sir. You've landed. We are very mild this morning over here. I'm sure you guys are usually warmer than us. We're 51.
We're 45.
Okay.
46, actually.
Okay. Well, we're certainly feeling no cold this morning. It's very nice outside if you're just thinking about the temperatures only. Of course, it's muggy and very foggy. So it's kind of a typical Monday morning, what we might think a Monday looks like, and here we are. Got a little limp in my leg. I hyperextended my knee yesterday, so I decided to work. I'd rather get on my employee's bad side than my wife's. Limping around doing nothing. So, yeah, I think I can get by and do what I need to do.
Well,
I hope I don't chase down nobody.
That's a pain to have that knee hurting, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a short-lived experience. But anyway, we're basically on cruise control this morning. Our restaurant's primary restaurant, Legends on the Lake, is moving across the street today, and maybe for a few days as they do some renovation work, some quick fix stuff, and make those repairs, and then we'll move back over. So I thought I'd throw that out there. Over the weekend, it was pretty slow going. I didn't get any phone calls. Boss, this happened. So when I don't get any of those phone calls, I know it's been a pretty uneventful weekend, which is what we like to see. And in February, we shouldn't have anything that would draw our attention, hopefully.
Yeah. Gives you a chance to enjoy your weekend when you don't get those phone calls, right?
Oh, yeah. I certainly, it makes for a better weekend, that's for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but we're going to see what this week brings. We've got a lot of interesting weather ahead of us. Temperatures are very moderate, and who knows what falls after that.
Well, springtime's coming for sure, but we got some cool weather, I think, ahead of us before that happens.
Yes, I think so too. And I'm not going to start doing my spring stuff yet. Just too early. I don't want to be lulled into the warm weather we're having right now. I think we'll definitely get some more freezes.
Yeah, there always seems to be a cold snap just about Easter time.
Yeah. So I'll hang in there.
And Easter's going to be on April Fool's Day this year.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Well, that's the day I met my wife on April Fool's Day, so I tell her about that every year. Oh.
But that wasn't a joke, was it? That was
no, it wasn't. No, she tells me about it too, so it goes both ways.
How many years you been married?
35.
Wow, good. Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
I hope it's good for her.
I'm sure it is. Should have kicked you out by now. Maybe she kicked you in the knee. Maybe that's what your problem is.
That might have been it when I wasn't looking or paying attention.
Steve, you have a great day up there.
You do the same.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye. That's Rumbling Ball. Nice and quiet up there this morning. Foggy and sort of hazy like we are here.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Farmer's Friend says it's now the time to start pre-emergent with your lawns for crabgrass prevention. If you need some answers to that, get some questions on how to do that, come by Farmer's Friend. They've got the answers and the solutions. They also have in stock red Pontiac seed potatoes, Kennebec seed potatoes, Yukon Gold seed potatoes, and onion sets are now available. Ask for more details when you visit Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply. They also can deliver, too. Ask about that if you need some delivery right to your place. Generic dog food, very reasonable, 40 pounds, $11.99. 20% off all dog beds. Your little dog needs a new bed, right? Go get one at Farmer's Friend while they got them reduced. That's 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton. Phone number is 287-3272. Here's Bob Hodge now. He's over at the Hudlow Volunteer Fire District Community. Bob, good morning.
Well, good Monday morning.
Hope you had a good weekend, Bob.
Oh, I had a pretty good weekend there. It was real nice yesterday, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty there, but we're been a little rain overnight up here, so looks like it's going to be mostly cloudy today with rain showers, so, but it ain't too cold, so that's good.
Yeah, I can handle a few days like yesterday for sure.
Yeah. And the day's a holiday, ain't it? President's Day there.
It is.
So, yeah, and everything, so.
You get do you get the day off, Bob?
Oh, I always have a day off there. I take it one day at a time now.
There you go.
Yeah. But Jim, up there with the fire department, fairly quiet over the weekend. We answered a few medical calls, and then yesterday even had a call to airplane crash up here at the airport, and that was a single-engine aircraft, and nobody wasn't hurt. It just had a fuel spill there from it, so that was good on that. And
went belly up, didn't he? I mean, just landed on the belly of the plane.
Yeah, the fuel poured out there.
Yeah.
But Jim, that's about it up here. Maybe things will stay pretty quiet there, and look like it's going to be a damp day, but it's going to be warm. Look like the middle of the week we're going to get back up to summertime weather again there. So
yes, but today we'll have to make our own sunshine.
Yeah, well, we make our own sunshine there. Maybe we can go up to Sunshine. Wonder if it's sun shining up there.
I don't know. We could cross over there and go to that Golden Valley and see what goes on.
Yeah, get some cherry bounce or something there. Oh, well, Jim, you take care and have a good day, and I'll be talking to you in the morning.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate that, and I'll see you then.
All right,
thanks. Bye-bye. Well, one of the places we know we can always stop and have a good time and visit with some great folks, and that's Washburn General Store. Over there between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway, they always have a load of things like you won't find other places, and some really good Red Band stick candy that they've gotten in, new shipment. And they also have that Wisconsin cheese that's absolutely great. Other kinds of candy as well, plus you can pick up a lot of things. Somebody, I was talking about Washburn to somebody, they said that's where I bought my lamps and my lamp oil from up there. So you can do the same thing. In case the power goes off, it's always good to have one of those lamps around, already fuel in it, the oil lamp in it, ready to go for some lights. It's always handy to have 2 or 3 of those around the house. So get yours at Washburn Store, there between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
We're checking in now with Cherry Mountain Fire District, and that's where Sue Price is today. Sue, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
Tell us everything's been going on over there.
Well, I don't know if a thing has been going on. It's just been quiet. I don't think the fire department had any calls, so that was a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, we appreciate all they do. They have a lot of training to go through, and it takes a lot of time to volunteer for that. And they can always use new volunteers. It's hard to get people now. But anyway, we appreciate the volunteer firemen and all the others. Well, I don't have a single birthday or anniversary today on my calendar. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. I started out at 50 degrees this morning, so it's not too bad cold out there. We had a beautiful day yesterday. It was so nice.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I don't know when I have seen as many blackbirds in my yard as I saw yesterday afternoon. You've had a bunch of those?
We have birds all over. I hadn't seen as many blackbirds. I have a lot of the mourning doves. They sort of take over my feeder every once in a while.
I bet there were 500 or more of those blackbirds landed in the backyard.
Oh, my goodness.
Made me think of that old movie, The Birds.
Yeah.
But they hung around a while. They jumped up on the bird feeder, and then they jumped back down and just hovered a while, and they flew away. So I don't know where they came from or where they're going, but I didn't like the looks of that.
Oh, I know. Good that they were passing through.
Yes, really.
Passing on. Well, I don't have any announcements, Jim, so that's about it for me. Quiet and calm over here, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks, sir. You enjoy your day as well, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye-bye.
35 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Monday Morning Report. And Tar Heels had a great day yesterday over Louisville, 93-76. Their next game is coming up on Wednesday night against Syracuse. There are so many features that you'll appreciate about the Miracle Ear. If you're thinking about at all doing something to improve your hearing, I would suggest you look at Miracle Ear. Talk with Lisa. Get that free hearing test. Lisa will be glad to offer that for you. No obligation. And ask about this Miracle Ear Genius 2.0. Ask Lisa about that when you are ready for a positive change in your hearing. If you're tired of having to ask them to repeat themselves several times, or you're tired of having to turn the volume up so loud other folks are irritated by that, or if you're tired of isolating yourself because you can't understand what's going on, it's time for Miracle Ear. 368-4126. 828-368-4126, 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102 in Forest City. That's Miracle Ear. Now we're checking in up at Union Mills with the Brenda Cowley Report. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this magnificent Monday morning?
I feel great. I'm just happy as a lark.
Me too. So you had a lot of blackbirds, huh?
Yeah. I don't know when I have seen so many blackbirds. Did you?
Well, not recently I hadn't, but I have seen them. They just cover the trees. The trees would look like a big black cloud.
Yeah, that's what this was. And when they landed in the yard, it looked like a big black sheet of something out there on the ground.
I know it. I don't know why they do that, but excuse me, but they do that. They'll just different times of the year they'll come through here, and when they fly, it sounds like woof.
Yeah, it does. They do have the unique sound.
Yeah, but I was out and about Saturday, and when I come back, I had a message on my answering machine. So I turned it on, and it said, "This is the IRS. We want you to know we've tried for 6 months to get in touch with you, and we haven't got in touch with you yet. That you and your family are being investigated, and you need to call," and they left a number, "and get in touch with us, or you'll be something other in court or something." But I knew that they don't call.
Exactly right. If you were smart.
And somebody told me if you call that number, that would just be $50 right there.
There is a possibility that it goes into a long distance calculator that really runs its meter up real fast. You end up paying a lot of money for a long distance telephone call.
Yeah, but people need to be aware. And I was talking to Ginger Roop over the weekend, and she said Steve had got a call like that. I don't know if it was last week or a couple of weeks ago. So they're trying to scam people, and people need to be aware that if you get a phone call from the IRS, it's a scam.
Yeah, exactly, because they don't make phone calls like they send out letters. And
That's
they're doing this now because it's tax season, and they know folks are interested, excited, and turmoiled about their taxes and returns and getting them filled. And that's why they're irritating people with that. So you did the right thing, and we try to keep encouraging that, bring it to the front, that do not accept any invitation from somebody that says they're calling from the IRS.
No,
they
just don't do it.
No, they don't.
But there'd be a lot of people that would scare them, and they'd call, and the next thing you know, they ain't got no money.
That's exactly right.
They'll clean you out.
Sure will. Absolutely.
But I've got 44 degrees on the front porch today. Birthdays, I've got John Selby, and this next one I can pronounce her first name, but the last name I can't. It's Emily RJHDES, and I cannot pronounce that. Then we got Ada Hendricks and Amanda Thrift. Don't have anything on Round Hill, so we hope these people have a great old big day on their special day. And in ways of announcements, we got a country breakfast buffet Saturday, February the 24th from 7 to 10 a.m., and this is at the White House Community Center on Painters Gap Road in Union Mills. Adults $6, children 6 to 12, $3, under 6 free. They got all kind of good food. All proceeds go to the upkeep of the buildings and ground, and they say thank you for your support. And you can rent the building for birthday parties, family functions, and so on for $50 a day. And you can contact Diane Parker at 828-625-4502. Then on Friday, March the 2nd, 7 p.m., Foothills 5 will be at the Union Mills Learning Center. And this is on Hudlow Road up here in Union Mills. And meal beginning at 6 p.m., and the cost is $5. That's a poor man's supper consisting of pinto beans, potatoes, cornbread, kraut and winnies, or cabbage, dessert, and drink. That sounds like a good meal to me.
Me too.
Yeah. Music begins at 7 p.m., and they have a tip jar available for the band. And other than that, I don't have anything.
All right. Well, I'm glad you brought us, alerted us about the IRS phone calls, or bogus phone calls.
Yeah. They're on the move.
Listen, you have a great Monday up there, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks,
Catch you later.
Bye-bye. It's 7:40 on this Monday morning, 7:40 with the next phone call coming up. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com. Luther Gilligan is on the phone with us from Ellenboro to give us the news from that part of our county. Good morning, Luther. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, you two. It's Monday morning. We get to go back to work.
Yes, absolutely.
Laid around all weekend, did nothing, got lazy. Boy, it's time to get back with it.
Got a question for you.
Yes.
Did you fall asleep in church yesterday?
No.
Good.
I had to stand in the corner.
I just want to make sure you didn't fall asleep and snore.
Yeah, that's what they do when when you're in basic training. You fall asleep and make you go stand at the rear of the room. I did that several times.
Yeah.
But we had a good church, and had a good weekend. It was a quiet weekend with a whole lot going. Had a nice weekend, beautiful day yesterday. So we enjoyed it. Got out, just did nothing. Let's see, fire department had 2 medical calls. Had 1 accident. I had an accident yesterday morning down on the bypass, and had 2 medical calls. Other than that, things quiet with them. Quiet this morning. But one we have birthday today. See, Lucas Yuki's having a birthday, and also Donna Ames is having one. We hope they have a great day and enjoy their day. And Jim, hope you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Birthday time, anniversary time for this Monday, the 19th. So it's President's Day. If you're celebrating a birthday along with the presidents, call us now at 287-3356, and we'll put you in the drawing for those delicious Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. The phone number to call is 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up.
Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Lube Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate your tires. Complete car care altogether, including transmission flush and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth.
A lot of folks have used Armstrong vinyl over the years and been very, very satisfied with it. You may want to update yours. If so, contact Southern Carpet. I think some of the reasons Southern Carpet has done so well over the years is that they offer quality materials like Armstrong vinyl, and they take care of the customers. They got great customer service over there. And since 1993, Gerald and Lynn Tony set out to be the best they can be in this business. They carry a lot of merchandise that you might want to look at, including that Armstrong vinyl, ceramic tile, Appalachian hardwood, Bruce hardwood, maybe some Tarkett flooring, beautiful carpet. And a job is never too small or too large for them. They'll do 1 room or 20 rooms or whatever size house you've got. Let them go to work for you. The success behind Southern Carpet and Floor Covering in Forest City is customer service and their quality merchandise. Call them at 245-0310. That's 245-0310. Or go see them at 1512 West Main Street, across from North State Gas Company.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, let's see. Happy birthday goes out to Travis Green. He's 39 today. John Selby's having a birthday. Emily Rhodes, Ada Hendrick, and Amanda Thrift also celebrating birthdays. Let's see who gets to be in the drawing this morning. Ada Hendricks is 5 years old, lives up in Gilkey. And Jakias Austin, 10-year-old student at Rutherfordton Elementary School. So happy birthday to these folks. In just a moment, we'll have the drawing. Somebody's going to win some donuts. Daylight Donuts from Granny B's.
About 90% of all family quarreling has money at the root of it, and it is no wonder when you consider some of the strange views people have toward money issues. Just listen to several of them. A certain employee found $10 too much in his paycheck, but remained quiet about the error. The following week, correcting the overpayment, the paymaster deducted $10 and the employee complained loudly. You didn't say anything last week when I overpaid you, accused the paymaster. Well, replied the employee, I can overlook one mistake, but when it happens twice, it's time to complain. Or about the woman who returned home from a holiday shopping spree with her arms loaded with packages. Her husband met her at the door and said, What did you buy? I'll bet you spent a fortune. I hate to think what has happened to our nest egg. I'll tell you what happened to our nest egg, his wife said somewhat angrily. The old hen got tired of sitting on it. Or finally, about the man who sent a check to the IRS for $100 with a note. It read, I just have not been able to sleep, so here's $100 that I owe you. If I still can't sleep after that, I'll send you the rest. Is God concerned about how we handle our finances? Yes, He is. Over 50% of all Jesus' parables deal with money matters or our use of such money. The God who cares about our material possessions. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for these programs are available in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
And congratulations going out to Jacaius Austin, a student at Rutherford Elementary. He's 10 years old, and he just won the De La Donuts from Granny B's. And we'll have that certificate over here for him to pick up and take over to Granny B's and enjoy those donuts. Coming up next hour, we certainly going to check in with Terry Thomas and find out where some job opportunities are. I heard somebody just the other day say, there are just no jobs here in Rutherford County. I want to say, what? So we got some job offerings that we'll give to you in just a few minutes. Also at 8:30 this morning, Word of Faith returns, facing the accusations about them and their church. You've been hearing from the national accusers. Now you can hear from those being accused. No one is reporting their side of the story, but now we're doing it with them in the studio live. You can hear members of Word of Faith Fellowship tell their side of the story this morning at 8:30 here on WCAB.
Mike Riley. The White House says President Donald Trump will hold a listening session with some students Wednesday during the Florida high school shooting that left 17 people dead. At a rally in Fort Lauderdale demanding stronger gun control laws from Florida lawmakers, David Hogue, a student at the school in Parkland, looked at the huge crowd and said, maybe now, after the massacre at his school, laws will be enacted to stop the slaughter.
The fact that all of you are out here today is showing that this is a turning point in American history, and we are not.
The grand prize, a raffle to benefit firefighters near Sacramento, California, is being questioned. That's because folks purchasing tickets at the Crab Feed in Cameron Park could win an AR-15, the assault rifle used in last week's Florida high school massacre. Resident Nancy Logo bought tickets for the raffle, but she left early last night.
I was devastated. I felt ill. I felt I couldn't stay and support the event any longer.
In Hendersonville, Travis Rector is a gun shop owner, and he tells WLOS News sales are especially brisk for the AR-15. In North Carolina, you have to be 18 and undergo a background check.
You have to be 21 years or older to buy a handgun. But with that handgun, you have to have the pistol purchase permit or a CCH permit.
Robert Miles, co-leader of the Hendersonville chapter of Moms Demand Action, told WLOS News there are ways to stem some of the gun deaths.
The most effective way to begin reducing the number of gun deaths and number of people who are wounded would be with a national comprehensive system of background checks.
And the driver of an 18-wheeler died in a fiery crash on Sunday night in Columbus County on Highway 7476. The driver's name has not been released. No one else was injured seriously. You're listening to NCN News.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
The stock market has had some wide swings of late, but NC State University economist Dr. Mike Walden says he still remains optimistic that the overall fundamentals will be on the upside.
This, I think, is an adjustment. I'll make a bold prediction. I think on December 31st, the Dow will be higher than it was on January 1st. So I still think the market's going to trend up this year.
In a bid to stop Russian election meddling, Facebook's going old school. Over to CBS's Vicki Barker.
Starting with the midterm elections, the social media giant will start sending postcards to anyone seeking to buy political ads to confirm that the buyers actually live in the U.S. Facebook admits some 3,000 Russian-linked ads were bought before and after the presidential election, but Robert Mueller's indictments charge the Kremlin also had agents in the U.S. and that it paid Americans to hold up signs at rallies. The new policy likely won't end those practices. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Israel and Poland remain locked in a diplomatic row over the Holocaust. Correspondent Robert Berger has more from Jerusalem.
Poland's prime minister is calling for dialogue after he sparked outrage in Israel by saying that Jews, as well as Poles and Germans, were perpetrators of the Holocaust. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described the remarks as insensitive and a rewriting of history. Reflecting public anger, swastikas and graffiti were painted on the entrance of the Polish embassy in Tel Aviv. Robert Berger, CBS News, Jerusalem.
Wineries could be coming to Charlotte. City leaders will vote today on an amendment that will allow wineries to open in the city. There would not be a vineyard, but the wineries would make wine, cider, or other products on property. This concept is being tried all over the country. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Scott Goldberg. As Parkland, Florida mourns after 17 were gunned down at the high school there, questions swirl around the 19-year-old suspect. Nicholas Cruz is being held on 17 counts of premeditated murder. The family that took him in after his adopted mother died, Kimberly and James Sneed, just spoke to ABC News.
I went after him. I really wanted to strangle him more than anything, and everything I wanted to say, I tried to reserve myself. I said, "Really, Nick? Really?" Yelled at him, and he mumbled something, but I didn't hear it, and he said he was sorry.
He said he was sorry. The student survivors of the attack are calling for change. Here's ABC's Adrian Bankert.
The students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High are demanding their voices be heard.
My innocence, our innocence has been taken from us.
Speaking at gun control rallies Saturday and Sunday, sparking the movement called Never Again.
Adults have failed us, honestly, and kids are dying because of it. Change needs to happen so no more lives are lost.
They say gun reform must become a reality.
Tomorrow, 100 students will speak to state lawmakers in Tallahassee. They plan to march on Washington next month. We may be closing in on the end of the flu season. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
According to the CDC, there could be some hope on the horizon. The percentage of doctor visits for flu-like symptoms has leveled off over the last couple of weeks. The fact that number didn't increase is seen as a hopeful sign by the medical community that we could be looking at the end of the flu season.
The CDC also says 84 children have died across the country after coming down with the flu. 3/4 of those kids did not get the flu shot. Multiple reports now say a former Trump campaign staffer is ready to flip and testify against ex-campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Rick Gates also is expected to plead guilty to fraud charges. There is no trading on Wall Street today. Markets are closed for the President's Day holiday. You're listening to ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Don't go bankrupt. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
Another wardrobe malfunction at the Olympics. ABC's Alex Stone is in Pyeongchang. And he tells us Gabriela Papadakis is a French ice dancer. As she was performing, her costume came unhooked at the neckline. Ed Sheeran's Shape of You was playing, and then it happened. Papadakis says it was her worst nightmare. Her performance being shown live in international TV. Immediately, reviewers around the globe started posting pictures. Many TV broadcasters say they're editing out that moment from rebroadcasts. The head of the EPA has canceled a trip to Israel amid questions of how much he'd been spending on travel. Scott Pruitt has been flying either first class or business class to avoid public confrontations with critics. Search teams have now arrived at the scene of a plane crash in Iran. All 65 people on board died. ABC's Tom Rivers at the foreign desk tells us the plane was a French-Italian-built ATR-72 twin-engine turboprop. It came down on Mount Dina at around 11 to 12,000 feet. Getting to the exact isolated site is not easy. Iran has suffered several plane crashes over the past few decades. Tehran blames U.S. sanctions for preventing it from buying new aircraft or spare parts from the West. Black Panther is a beast at the box office. That movie making $192 million over the weekend, the fifth biggest debut ever. The film's put out by Disney, the parent company of ABC. This is ABC News.
A good night's sleep starts with the right pillow. That's where MyPillow comes in, and we're excited to announce the new 4-pack special. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 4-pack special tab, and save 50% off the 4-pack, which includes 2 MyPillow Premiums and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Use promo code SKY at checkout or call 1-800-635-1825. That's 1-800-635-1825. Or go to MyPillow.com, click the 4-pack special tab, and use promo code SKY at checkout.
North Carolina Tractor Supply, your Massey Ferguson dealer in Rutherfordton, has some really great ideas this year. This could be the year for you to get that Massey Ferguson you've been wanting. Stop by today and see what Massey Ferguson and Phil Sheehan at North Carolina Tractor Supply have for you. Check to see if you qualify for 0% financing. Today could be your day at North Carolina Tractor Supply, Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
We could see some patches of light rain early on today. Otherwise, we'll have cloudy to mostly cloudy skies and just a few widely scattered sprinkles or light showers. We'll look for high temperatures that range from around 50 in northernmost parts of the state to low 60s in the south. Tonight, we'll have low clouds and areas of fog, a small chance of some sprinkles or drizzle with lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Then on Tuesday, more clouds than sun and a good deal warmer, highs about 68 to 74. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Mike. Cloudy with some light mist falling this morning. We may get some heavier showers, but mostly scattered throughout today and tonight. As a matter of fact, scattered showers in the forecast all the way through Sunday. Some percentages are higher than others. 40. The highest looks like on Wednesday be 50%, 40% Wednesday night, 50% again Thursday, 40% Friday, and 30% Saturday, and 40% again on Sunday. Right now it's cloudy and it's 46 degrees here at WCAB in Rutherfordton. Monday mornings we like to check in with Terry Thomas to find out where some job opportunities are. Terry, I was telling earlier this morning on radio, I heard somebody say over this past week that, there are just no jobs around here. I thought, my goodness, you folks must be living in a cave or something. Terry, tell us where some jobs are.
Okay. In the Spindle area, we have a power engineering technologist, one position. This job does require a high school diploma and or GED, and the pay depends upon experience. In the Columbus area, we have a sales and service associate. This is working for a bank. You must have a high school diploma and or GED and at least 2 years of sales, customer service, or teller experience, and the pay depends upon experience. In the Forest City area, we have a uniform security specialist position. This job requires a high school diploma and 2 years experience, and the pay on this job depends upon experience. Over in the Rutherfordton area, we have a cook helper position. This is for working in a nursing home. It requires 6 months experience, and the pay on this job ranges from $8 to $8.50 an hour, depending upon experience. We also have full-time and part-time delivery driver positions. This is delivering pizzas. It does not require any experience, but you must have a driver's license, and the pay depends upon experience. In the construction area, we have a construction labor position. This job pays $10 to $12 an hour, and it will be local, and it may require some travel. And the pay is $10 to $12 an hour, depending upon experience. And we also have a gutter installer position. The employer is willing to train, and this job ranges from $9 to $15 an hour, depending upon experience. We do have various registered nursing and LPN positions throughout the county, and we have quite a few certified nursing assistants and home health aides, and these jobs depend upon experience. The Chimney Rock State Park will be having a job fair on Thursday at the Old Rock Cafe. This is going to be from 3 to 6 p.m., and they're located at 431 Main Street in Chimney Rock. They're going to be hiring for seasonal positions such as ticket sales, guest services, trail guides, etc., and they do have some full-time positions. And there again, this job fair will be in Chimney Rock at 431 Main Street at the Old Rock Cafe this Thursday, the 22nd, from 3 to 6 p.m. And these are just a few of the jobs that we have available at the Rutherford County NC Works Career Center. We are located at 223 Charlotte Road, Rutherfordton. For more information on these or other positions, you can call us at 286-3042, or you can go on our website at www.ncworks.gov.
Terry Thomas, thank you so very much. You keep up the good work over there, and I'll see you next time.
It's my pleasure.
Thanks. 10 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Monday morning wake-up call at WCAB. Congratulations to Jackias Austin, a student at Rutherfordton Elementary School. 10 years old, he won the Daylight Donuts this morning from Granny B's. I've got news from here and there with the Sheriff's Report coming up in just a few.
Hello, this is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates. Are you on disability? Or maybe you're on Medicare? Or maybe both? Come see me, Dwayne Hunt at Insurance Service Associates, about a Medicare Advantage product brought to you by Humana. Please give me a call, 245-5301 at Insurance Service Associates, 127 East Trade Street, Forest City.
Hello, this is Brian King, and we've been proudly serving Rutherford County and its citizens for the past 20 years. Over those years, we've expanded to 12 different locations all across western North Carolina and upstate South Carolina, and we're excited to be a part of the community. We really appreciate all the times that you've trusted our office over the years, and we want to make sure that you know that we're right here to serve you. Looking forward to see you at King Law Offices right here in Uptown Rutherfordton.
If you like looking good and finding great deals, Factory Connection is your fashion connection at our new Spindale store opening this weekend. We're located in the White Oak Plaza next door to the Dollar Tree with the latest in denim, unique tops, dresses, and shoes, plus great looks for guys. With savings up to 75% off department store prices, we're the smart shopper's secret weapon when it comes to looking great and saving big. Come see us at Factory Connection in Spindale this weekend.
Factory Connection. Yeah, what a great store.
Look for that opening this week here in Rutherford County. It's 11 minutes after 8. Some of the local news from here and there. There was a plane crash over at our Rutherford County Airport. A Beech M35 airplane made a gear-up landing at Marchman Field around 2:30 Sunday. The Hudlow Fire District Rutherford Fire Department, Rutherford County Rescue, and 2 Highway Patrol responded to the emergency landing. Bob Hodge, our Hudlow reporter, gave us information about that earlier this morning. The pilot and passenger were okay, but the plane sustained some major damage to the propeller and the engine upon landing. A belly landing or gear-up landing occurs when an aircraft lands without its landing gear fully extended and uses its underside or belly as its primary landing device. FAA registration shows the plane to belong to Barry G. Beaver of Shelby over in Cleveland County, but thank goodness no injuries took place. Many of them may have been on number 11 highway Saturday night. I got caught in the traffic and the detour around 7:30, 8 o'clock. A pedestrian was struck and killed while walking along South Carolina Highway number 11 in Cherokee County Saturday night. The victim was identified as David Harmon Joseph Johnson, 40 of Chesney Highway there in Gaffney. Coroner Dennis Fowler said Johnson was walking east on Highway 11 when he was struck at 7:40 near the intersection of Bonner Road by a pickup truck also headed east. Johnson was pronounced dead at the scene. The 16-year-old driver of the truck and an 11-year-old passenger were taken to Spartanburg Medical Center for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. The victim had just left the dollar store on Bonner Road and was believed to have been walking back to his residence when he was struck. An autopsy will be performed today. According to Fowler, Johnson became the county's second traffic-related death in 4 days. A woman was killed last Tuesday after a train struck her vehicle near Floyd Baker Boulevard there in Gaffney. Was coming through there right after that happened. Saturday night, the traffic was being diverted, coming back out over there about where the Dollar General store is. Major traffic congestion there. Meanwhile, over in Columbus, a car ran through the side of the building of Coca-Cola Mexican Grill in Columbus Friday evening. There were 2 people who suffered minor injuries. According to the Columbus Fire Department, the restaurant was evacuated and closed for the night. One person was transported to the hospital, and another went to the hospital in their own vehicle, according to the reports. Columbus Fire Chief Tony Priester, who was on the scene, said the call came in about 6:55 p.m. When emergency crews arrived, the vehicle was completely inside the restaurant. The driver of the vehicle, a young woman who has not yet been identified, hit the gas instead of the brake. She was not injured. There were people sitting on either side of the impact, but Priester said thankfully no one was sitting at the booth of the direct impact. The vehicle was an older model four-door Mercury sedan. The restaurant suffered significant damage with crews cleaning up glass in the parking lot Friday night. Coca-Cola Mexican Grill is located at 338 West Mill Street, Columbus. Other news from here and there. Congratulations to our Rutherford RS Middle student heading to the Spelling Bee competition. 7th grade RS Middle School student Emily Walters is set to compete in the 64th Charlotte Observer Regional Spelling Bee today. She recently won the Rutherford County Schools 2017-2018 District Spelling Bee held at Chase High School last month. It was the second year in a row she won the competition. Walters won the competition by correctly spelling the word heifer. Do you know how to spell it? Heifer. Congratulations. She will be representing us well. Meanwhile, a Chase High School student has filed for the North Carolina District 112 House seat held by Republican David Rogers. Democrat Gregory James Gallagher of Delta Street in Forest City filed Friday afternoon for the North Carolina House seat. Incumbent Rogers filed on Monday. Also Friday, Darrell Sims of Owens Chapel Road in Rutherfordton completed his paperwork with the Board of Elections and will run as an unaffiliated candidate for District 5 Rutherford County Commissioner seat. That one held by incumbent Republican Alan Toney. Toney filed Monday morning also. Sims, who has been registered unaffiliated for several years, said he has already begun the process to get the required number of signatures on a petition in order to get the name placed on the November ballot. He must have 1,768 signatures by the day of the primary election. Brady Uten, the other unaffiliated candidate to announce thus far, is seeking the office of sheriff. He already has the signatures and will also be on the November ballot. Filing slowed down considerably after Monday when 13 candidates filed for office, so they will continue to look at that process before it closes in just a few weeks. Here's some information for you I'd like for you to pay attention to as well, and then we'll have the sheriff's report.
You do a lot. At Northland, we do internet. You do sports. We do internet that makes games easy to stream. You do movies. We do internet that gives you a world of choices. You do family. We do internet that sounds like the real thing. And now you can get speeds up to 100 megs with internet packages starting at $29.99 a month. Call 888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com today. All rates and tax and fees not available in all areas. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. Actual speeds may vary. See getnorthland.com/offers for full details.
Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care. Well, coin collectors, you'll be happy to know that Norm's Coins has received the 2018 Silver Eagles. A lot of people love to collect those, as do I. The 2018 Panda Bear coins and all the proof sets from 1955 and up. They make great gifts for people born on those years. You give the proof set from the year they were born. It really makes a nice gift. Betty is staying on top of the coin market and can assist you with anything you think you might be looking for. If she doesn't have it in stock, she can get it for you. Coin books, coin supplies are all available. Those coin rollers, they're available for you as well. Norm's Coins inside Butler's Jewelry in downtown Forest City is open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Get your 2018 Silver Eagles before the supply is all gone in downtown Forest City. It's 19 now past 8 o'clock. Congratulations to Jakias Austin. He's a student at Rutherfordton Elementary. He's 10 years old. He won the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's this morning. Now, Officer Arnett was on earlier with us, gave the report from the Sheriff's Department.
Last 48 hours, Sheriff's Office has 232 calls, 14 arrests, and 172 in jail. We have, for reports for arrests, we have a Joseph Duncan, misdemeanor probation violation. Donald Hudson, failure to appear. Frank Godfrey, failure to appear. Megan Acey, failure to appear. Mark Stafford, second-degree trespass. Jimmy Coffey, assault on a female. Rashad Phillips, assault on a female. And for reports, we have a Jacqueline Walker, who's reported a breaking and entering. Teresa Phillips, larceny of a motor vehicle. Melinda Hamrick, larceny of a motor vehicle. Paul Lee Harris, breaking and entering a motor vehicle. Angela Lowe, assault on a female. Jennifer Green, assault on a female. Clifford Bradley, misdemeanor larceny. Timothy Powell, breaker entering a motor vehicle. Sylvia Greer, financial card fraud. Cerness Lovelace, breaking or entering. Charles Street, breaking or entering. And Elizabeth Luckadoo, assault and battery. And that's all.
This is Pam with the Home Medical Department at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. We carry several products for CPAP therapy that includes wipes, distilled gallons of water, a CPAP hose cleaning tool, a CPAP pillow, and of course the regular supplies of masks, filters, and other maintenance products. Come in or call us for any of your CPAP needs. Thank you and have a happy new year from all of us at Smith's Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street, 245-4591.
21 minutes after 8 o'clock. Well, this is a dreary Monday, but we can make our own sunshine today, can't we? Well, the Tryon International Equestrian Center is on a fast track to complete several construction projects ahead of the 2018 FEI World Equestrian Games. The games are expected to draw 500,000 visitors when the games are held from September the 11th through September the 23rd, combining 8 world championships in one event. Preparations for the games began shortly after it was announced in November 2016 that the Tryon Equestrian Center would host that event. Sharon Decker, the TIEC Chief Operating Officer, said basically in 2 years we're doing 4 years worth of work on an accelerated schedule and moving very fast. We've had great support from communities around us. There have been no major surprises thus far. Decker said TX budget for the game is about $50 million. Work continues on designing competition courses and building new hotels on the site. A large stadium with 20,000 seats will also be under construction in the coming months. Construction workers began installing steel beams for a new 3-story building that will house media and guests during the games and can be used as a conference center for meetings after the events. Once the building is complete, spectators will have clear views to the surrounding competition areas. So they got a major undertaking going on over there. They think they'll make it. We hope they do make it. 23 now past 8 o'clock. We got a sports update coming up here in just a few minutes. And then the Word of Faith speaks out live here in the studio.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Number 12 Duke on the road Sunday. They staved off a late rally by Clemson to beat the 11th-ranked Tigers 66-57. The Blue Devils led by 10 points with 7 minutes to go, but the Tigers tied it up with 2 minutes left. Then Trent got fouled on a three-point try during Duke's next possession, and he hit all 3 of his free throws as Duke won its 3rd straight without injured Marvin Bagley III.
I'm proud of Grayson. I think he's had 3 of his better games since Marvin's been out, so he's really gone forward. And our free throw shooting was excellent. I think Grayson was 9 for 9, and I'll tell you what, it was really a tough game. Both teams. Wow, both teams played so hard.
Elsewhere, UConn held on to beat ECU 84-80. That despite giving up a triple-double to the Pirates' Isaac Fleming, whose 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists was just the 2nd triple-double in school history. In fact, he's at the other school's only triple-double.
What does it all mean? Carolina Journal has the answers. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
CBS News' Steve Futterman is in Pyeongchang with our Olympic update.
No medals for the U.S. today, but the U.S. women's hockey team is guaranteed a gold or a silver after beating Finland today 5-0 in a semifinal match. In the gold medal game, the U.S. will play either Canada or the Olympic athletes from Russia. A bit later tonight, U.S. time, the long program in ice dancing will take place. American teams are well positioned, finishing 3rd and 4th in the short program. Live at the Winter Olympics, Steve Futterman, CBS News.
On the ice closer to home, the Devils scored with 22 seconds left in overtime to beat the Hurricanes 3-2 in Raleigh. On Friday, the Canes were in possession of the 2nd wildcard slot in the East. Now, after losses to the Devils, the Islanders, and last night again the Devils, they're back on the outside looking in.
They're tight games. They're playoff games right now, and I think the last 3 games we've worked hard.
Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We could see some patches of light rain early on today. Otherwise, we'll have cloudy to mostly cloudy skies and just a few widely scattered sprinkles or light showers. We'll look for high temperatures that range from around 50 in northernmost parts of the state to low 60s in the south. Tonight, we'll have low clouds and areas of fog, a small chance of some sprinkles or drizzle with lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Then on Tuesday, more clouds than sun and a good deal warmer, highs about 68 to 74. Now, meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Cloudy skies this morning, 47 degrees. We've had a lot of mist falling this morning. We should have some showers developing later on today. About 40% chance of that. New precipitation amounts less than 1/10 of an inch possible. Matter of fact, rain's in the forecast every day this week. Off and on, some scattered showers, so we could just have to make our own sunshine. Right now it's cloudy and 47 degrees here at WCAB Rutherford, serving the foothills of the Carolinas. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to Word of Faith Responds. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. We have another wonderful program for you because it's telling you about everything that Jesus has done in our lives. Yes. You have been hearing about the truth about the Word of Faith Fellowship now for several months, and more importantly, you've been hearing about Jesus and all of the wonderful things that Jesus has done in our lives. And today, I have some very, very good friends of mine, Mark and Suzanne. Mark actually came here in 1994 from New York and Connecticut, that area up there, and Mark is an associate minister in our church. He preaches in our church. When he preaches with everything in him. I think he preaches from the very toes all the way up. He gives his whole heart. He's also a realtor and just a wonderful friend of mine. And Suzanne came here in 1993 from California. Suzanne and I actually grew up together. So as you may remember, when I shared about myself, I came here from Los Angeles many years ago, 1990, and Suzanne came 3 years after us. We grew up together, actually. Her parents and my parents were friends. They'd bring us over to each other's houses, and we'd go off and play. My sister is her age, and they were very good. I'd tag along as the little brother. They let me tag along. That was nice of them. And so we had a great time, and actually Suzanne came here not much longer after I did. So
you're going to hear just some wonderful things from both of them, and I want to jump right in, so I'm going to let Mark take over.
Thank you so much, Mark. We're so grateful to be here. Suzanne and I are just grateful, Jim, for this opportunity to give our testimony of what Jesus has done in our lives. Really been looking forward to doing this too. So, like Mark said, I grew up in New York State, way upstate, in a little town smaller than Rutherfordton, and grew up 60s and the 70s, and we had a pretty dysfunctional family. A lot of things happened that shouldn't have happened, but they did. Actually, when I was young, my mom left us because it was so bad at the house, and that was a season that was very difficult. And so all of that, we grew up never even knowing about being born again. That never was even mentioned. I never heard of that until my brother went away to college, and he came home and he started talking about being born again, and it's the first I ever heard of it, and he had me pray a prayer. But at that point in my life, there wasn't a surrender. It's just a prayer I prayed, but nothing really happened in my heart. And that was going into my high school years, and all the things of the world were being offered, the drugs, the alcohol, the parties, and that's what I really began to do. So right when Jesus was there coming to get my life set on course right, that's when the devil was right there offering the world, and I went with the world, and things just got from bad to worse, and to the point where, with our home, I vowed I'd never get married, and that was a pretty strong vow I made in my heart, and it really affected me, and I really began to run from God, and like I said, it got from bad to worse, to the point when after high school I went to a rock concert with my friends, and it was the opening band was a band called AC/DC, and the song that was being sung was I'm on a highway to hell. And I'm packed in a rock concert with thousands of young people, and we're packed in, and the air is so thick from the smoke of drugs, and plus I've been drinking, and that's about as high as you can get when you do both. And I'll never forget it in that song, and everyone's singing it with all their heart, and I heard so clear God say to me, "Why? What are you doing here?" I heard that right in the middle of that dark place. As dark as that place was, I heard God say to me, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "What am I doing here?" And immediately I was sober. And I turned around and pressed through that crowd with everything in me, and I just got out of there. You had to go to this underground place to get to the parking lot. I sat on my car till everybody got out, and everybody came out afterwards, after the concert was all done, and said, "What happened to you?" I said, "I want to go home." And I remember that so clearly, because it's like something switched in my heart, and I thought, I've lost God, and I want to find him again. And I just began to press in with everything in me, not knowing anything. And that was a very important key in my life. And it was just, to this day, it's a miracle that I could hear God and hear that voice so clearly. And so in my desire to get my heart right with God, I was out of high school. My parents had moved to Knoxville, Tennessee, and for a business move, and I just wanted to get my heart right with God, and the only thing I knew to do at that point was I needed to make things right with my parents. And so I moved to Tennessee, took my college from the community college credits with me, and I finished up my college at UT Knoxville, and I went for graphic design. And when you do graphic design, you get done with college with something called a portfolio of all of the work you've done. And with that, I went to New York City to look for a job. And I got a job in advertising, and I got it. I got everything I wanted. Always wanted to live in New York. I wanted to do that graphic design. I wanted to travel. And there I am in New York, and I had lost that desire seeking God, but God was still there the whole time. It's really amazing. His drawing power kept coming and inviting me, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I can't describe the emptiness in my heart when you get everything you want, but you don't have Jesus. And I got to the point where all I wanted to do was die. It was so tangible. I was getting ready to turn 25, and the desire just to die was so strong. And I could explain to you why. But it's because I was running from God. I was running from the call of God on my life that I didn't realize I had. And so I began to cry out to God, and I would just constantly just walk the streets after work, and what is the purpose for my life? Why am I here? And I, at one point I called the 700 Club, and they gave me the name of a little church, and I went there. And on Wednesday nights, they met on the Empire State Building. And they had a church service there because in New York City, real estate is you can't find any places to meet. And most of the churches are pretty dead. They're you get some pretty strange things out there. But this was just a little church of believers. And I was so grateful to be there. And actually, Kim, who shared last Friday, she went there at that time with her husband at that time was Mark Misha. And I got prayer. I said, I need prayer. And they prayed for me for 45 minutes. And I'll never forget it. It's just like for 45 minutes, they just prayed with all their heart, and I prayed with all my heart, and something left me in that 68th floor of the Empire State Building with the desks all pushed back in that office. And from that point on, all I wanted to do was to serve God. I remember going back to my little apartment and just weeping on the floor and saying, Jesus, I'm so sorry. And that floor had little parquet wood floors, and then all the little cracks I could see just filled with my tears and just repenting to God for running from all my life. And so from that point on, I was the first one there and the last one to leave. They finally just gave me the keys, and I was the one that always brought the equipment to church, and I just wanted to do anything I could. My career took second place, and just knowing Jesus took first place. And that ministry moved up to Connecticut, and so eventually I moved to Connecticut also, and I went to the Bible school. I preached in the Bible school. I taught in the Bible school. And I just gave my life to it. And it was a non-denominational church. But the pastors would not let Jesus deal with their hearts. And the pastor himself got into a lot of sin. And they ended up getting divorced. And that was probably one of the hardest things to go through after giving my heart and my life to that. And for that to happen, I can't explain how devastating that was, not just for me, but for everybody when that was all happening. And I remember at that point being in my little apartment up in Connecticut and saying, if this is the ministry, I don't want anything to do with it. And then the next thing that came out of my mouth was, but it's not my life. I've given it to you. And the next thing God spoke to me, that same voice that spoke to me in that rock concert said to me, Jeremiah 3:15. And I wrote that down. It says that, and I will give you spiritual shepherds after my own heart in the final time, who will feed you with knowledge and understanding and judgment. And I knew God was going to take care of me. I knew God said that to me. That was the same voice that brought me out of the world back in that rock concert. And so I remember back in, when I was still living in New York and going to church there and helping out there, I got to go on a ministry trip to the Soviet Union, when it's still the Soviet Union, with Sam Whaley and a team. And it changed my life forever. And so when I made that decision, I'm not running from God. I'm going to do the will of God. God began to speak to me about coming here to Spindale, North Carolina. And this was where God had called me to be. And it's just so many. I really nutshell a lot of things, but it really was the best thing I ever did in my life. I knew that God told me. I'd come down for seminars before and absolutely loved it here. I loved how everybody gave their whole heart. I mean, if you're just in our praise and worship, your heart just melts. It just like changes right in the middle of our praise and worship. The teachings were definitely teachings of learning to walk with God and hear God's voice and obey Him. And I knew that's what I wanted. And so I moved here. And my life really began to change, and it was nothing but good things started happening. Our Pastor Jane Whaley, she said, we're going to have a class. It's going to call the Friends of God class, and we all wanted to go to this class, and we all wanted to learn how to be friends, And a lot of us came with all kinds of stuff, like me with my vow I never get married. So it's hard to hear who's going to be your wife. If you've made a vow with the devil, you're never going to get married. So, and their class was all based on the scripture in John 15:15, I believe and it says that Jesus said to his disciples, I no longer call you my servants, but my friends. And I tell you everything that the Father tells me. And that was the foundation to that class. And that was the foundation of learning to walk together. And we were so grateful. We just wanted to learn how to hear God and say to each other what God told us to say to each other. And that was one of those pearls that I needed to break the power of what vow I made when I was a little boy in that house growing up. And so God did give me a pastor after his own heart that taught me knowledge and understanding. And I began to receive in my heart. And then there was one day I just started crying out to God, God, all I want is your will for my life. I just want your will for my life. And here I'm crying out for the will of God, what my job or whatever it might be. And God said to me, and I know Suzanne, I got to fellowship with her, with different people, and I just loved her. She was a great friend. And I heard God say, Suzanne is the one that I've called for you to walk with. She's the one that I've given to you. And I still hear it to this day. That same voice that told me that rock concert, what are you doing here? That same voice that told me I'm going to give you shepherds after my own heart is the same voice that came to me and said, Suzanne's the one that I have for you. And so we heard from God that we were to be married. And it was so precious. We're going to sing a song after Suzanne shares, but in that song, it's amazing. I didn't tell a lot of details of what I went through to get here, and God spoke to Jane and gave her a prophetic song about our lives, not just about the past that I walked through, but what God had for us and the love that God would give to us for each other. So we know, you can't take this away from us. No man could get us to marry anybody. I mean, when you make a vow like that, the lie is that we're told who to marry. You couldn't do it with me. The truth is I got a pastor after his own heart named Jane Whaley, and she taught me God's ways and how to submit to God, to hear God's voice. And I was able to receive his will and able to hear his voice in the midst of that darkness in me and receive my wife, and it's been nothing but good. And so I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I want to give Suzanne an opportunity to share too.
Okay, well, I grew up in Southern California, like Mark said. Our families grew up really close. I grew up in a Christian home, but I mean, really, my parents, neither one grew up in church-going homes, so it was kind of a new thing. When I was small, they decided we're going to start going to church. And I actually have two older siblings. I was the youngest. And so when I was little, we started going to church, and my mom really had a hunger for God. It's like it never was enough. Like we would, Sundays wasn't enough for her. So she just started seeking out, different churches or different ministries that we could be a part of. And in that's where she met Mark's mom. And that's where that relationship started. So that was the early 70s. So really, there was always a place where I was being taught about Jesus, and at the same time, our family was pretty dysfunctional, like Mark said. I mean, really, my parents were not together a lot of the time. It was kind of an in and out situation. My brother and sister were older, so there was a lot of problems with drugs and alcohol, and so really, our family was pretty troubled for several years. And I do remember at one point when I was about 9 years old, and it was a really, really sad time in my life. And it was, my dad was gone because of what he was in the middle of. My brother had moved out. My sister, she ended up moving out at an early age. So it was just my mom and I. And I'll never forget, those days my mom was pretty much in bed every day because she was really struggling. And it was like an all-time low for me. And I'll never forget getting out of school one day and walking across a basketball court, and the thought hit me, why am I alive? Why do I even exist? And I mean, that's not a thought most 9-year-olds should have. But I remember that it just was like an overwhelming hopelessness came to me. And God said, as clear as we're talking today, you're alive because I want you alive. And you exist because I want you to exist. And God spoke it to me. And it was like instant hope. I could grab hold of that. No one talked to me. There was no Sunday school teacher that talked to me. That was my hope. I mean, God spoke that to me. And God anchored me. And I mean, time went on. My dad came back. My brother and my sister pretty much were out at that point, and I kind of grew up more like an only child. But our lives as a family and my life personally was a bit of a roller coaster. You know, my mom, we'd go to meetings, and that would anchor her, that would anchor me, and that would, the drawing power of God was always there. And then it's like, then you'd have the pull of the world. Then I'd go to another meeting or something, and it was just like a back and forth. But I do know, like, by the time I was in high school, there was a lot of things I was involved with that were really wrong. So one of the things that was going on too, you know, in my life, as far back as I can remember, I always would paint and draw. Since I was tiny, I did artwork, and so, you know, it was kind of like a set thing. You're going to go to art school. It was never something I asked God to do. It was just, that's what you're going to do. You've always painted. You're going to go do art. And so by the time I was getting ready to graduate from high school, that's what I was looking at art schools. We were looking on the East Coast because I didn't want to stay in LA. And at the same time, my lifestyle was really getting worse. And when I graduated from high school, I went to Europe all summer, and I did just about everything you can imagine. And I went to most every country in Europe, and I got involved in a lot of sin. And at the time, I was accepted to all the main art schools, you know, New York, Philadelphia. I mean, just every place. And I was choosing, where am I going to go? And it was, my life was not being set on course in the right way. And I went to a summer camp that summer, and I didn't go with any of my friends. I just went to a summer camp in Los Angeles, and it was actually the church that Mark and I had grown up together in. And usually it was just kind of, you saw your friends, you went to some services, but there never was much of any kind of pressure put on your heart. But this particular summer camp, there was a speaker there, and I don't know what happened, but all I know is God really brought me to my knees. And I remember one night giving my heart to Jesus and saying, I don't want to live on this roller coaster anymore. I want to give my heart to you, Jesus. I don't want to go down the path that I've been going on. And I knew, I saw it in front of me what my brother and my sister had gone through, and I could see where those were some of the setups for me. And so it was a decision. I put my stake in the ground. I will never go back to that. I will never go further with that. And probably within a week or two, I went away to art school. And anyone who's ever gone to art school, I mean, like a real, accredited art school, they are rampant with sin. I mean, it's every kind of weirdness you can imagine is what is the norm in an art school. And I was totally a fish out of water. I had no business being there, but all I know is God got to my heart, and I couldn't go with it. At every point, I couldn't go with this, I couldn't go with this, and it was a real proving of my heart. And so when others would go out for drugs or go out to, everything that you do, I would go back to my dorm and I'd read my Bible. And I know those were places where God was really getting to my heart. So from there, I went on to Italy, and I did more travel, but God was still dealing with my heart and still dealing with my heart. And I got so, yes, I painted and everything all the time, but I hated the art world. I really did. And so I eventually pulled out, and I thought, this is not for me. I don't want to go this course anymore. And so it was always like everywhere I would go, I was always kind of like roaming streets, it seemed like. What am I supposed to be doing? I know I want God, but I hate this art world. this is how I felt. So every place I'd go, whether it was Italy, whether it was even in Washington, D.C., it was always like I'm searching for something. So when I got out of art school, that's when I went to South Africa. And it was still searching, anything. I went with a missionary organization and just trying to find something. And there again, God was always dealing with my heart. And I was there for a while, and I went up to a country called Namibia, and I was way out in the bush. And we were there just, to help with some local tribes. And I mean, truthfully, I'm not even quite sure why I was there, but we were out in the middle of the wilderness, and everyone was just going to pray. That's all we knew to do, was we were going to pray. And I start praying in English, and I start weeping, and it got stronger, and it got stronger. And before I know it, some very strong and loud prayer were coming out of me. And the whole time I'm weeping and I'm groaning. And I mean, it's like my whole being, I mean, I'm giving to God. And I'm thinking, I've never heard this kind of prayer in my life. And all I could do was feel the heart of God, and I could feel the presence of God, and it just kept going, and it kept going. And I mean, I think I was out. I mean, we were out in the bush. I think it went on for about an hour and a half, and it got stronger, and it got stronger. And like I said, I mean, my mind was like, I've not ever heard this before. But it did come to me about how it said the Israelites would groan, groan to God, and where David would groan and travail to God. And so different scriptures were starting to come to me. And when I got back into, it was civilization, because I really was out in the wilderness. It was about a week later, and I thought, I've got to tell my mom, because I knew my mom was someone I could confide in with this. And I got back and I said, Mom, you're not going to believe what happened to me out in the wilderness when I was out in Africa. And I told her how I prayed, and she said, Suzanne, I've just been to a place in North Carolina where everyone prays like that all the time. She said, we weep and we groan and we travail. And I said, that's how I prayed for an hour and a half. That's how I prayed. And it was no longer just this thing that I did. It was like, yes, the scripture started coming alive. And so that's when I visited back here. And Mark was living here at the time. Mark Morris was living here at the time. And my life totally changed. And I said, when I came here, I said, I'm moving there. I know this is the place I'm supposed to be. God spoke to me. This is what I've been searching for. This is what I've been roaming around and searching and trying to find all my life. This is where God planted me. This is the place. And so I ended up moving. Let's see, that was probably within a year or so, I moved here. And then within a year, that's when Mark Doyle, my husband, that's when he moved here. And then, like he said, it was just walking out of friendship, and then we got married. So, I mean, God speaks to us. It's like God spoke to him in a rock concert. God spoke to me in that basketball court at 9 years old. I mean, it's like the same voice speaks to us today. And I mean, I'm so grateful I heard the voice of God to move here and come here and to marry Mark. I mean, it's been such a blessing. So again, we're going to sing our song to you. Again, this is a prophetic song that God gave the words to Jane Whaley, our pastor, and it's holds true. It'll stand. The words in this song stand true for the 18 years we've been married, and they'll stand true throughout eternity. The love of God is the most powerful thing there is.
For so many years I was seeking, searching, trying to find the purpose for my life. I was in the world only to find hopelessness and torment coming to my heart and mind. And one day I had a change of heart, which turned me from the world to seeking God. Hopelessness and torment began to dissolve. Hope and peace of mind I began to find, as God through Jesus his Son began to show the richness of his blessings that were to come. This day I've seen a great blessing right before my eyes. You are truly a blessing sent from God to be a part of his fulfillment plan for my life. Who would have ever thought such blessings could be in store. Such love, such beauty, such fellowship, and so much more. God's love for his children, no man can understand. Its depth, its height, its greatness, in establishing God's plan. I praise God for all the love in my heart that I have for you. As I yield myself this day, being joined as one, I can truly say, Suzanne, with all my heart, I love you. You two are a blessing sent from God to me, for his plan is being fulfilled, daily working in me. I have surrendered my will for his love in my heart to be fulfilled. This love I have for you, I will continue to give to you only. As I say this day, I love you forever and always. Blessings from heaven are coming to us. Our hearts are open wide to receive. You are truly a precious blessing, sent from God especially for me. God's fulfillment of his precious love, abounding in our hearts, lasting throughout eternity. Yes, his love will last throughout eternity. Yes, his love will last throughout eternity.
Amen. And you just heard the wonderful story from Mark and Suzanne, and they have truly seen blessings from heaven have come from above. And we thank you again for listening to Word of Faith Responds. We will be back again Wednesday, 8:30 to 9, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Start the day with local news with the popular morning report at 6:55 a.m. Get North Carolina news, national news from ABC, and local reports from Lake Lure to Cliffside. Be the first to know on WCAB.
Enjoy the Atlanta Braves and NASCAR here on the Foothills Most Sports Station, WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Variety makes radio listening a pleasure. We have it. News, weather, sports, talk shows, today's country hits, and yesterday's memories. WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Let the WCAB marketing team go to work for your business. It works. Call Tracy or Jim at 287-3356.
From ABC News,